I want to show you something. That right there, that rotting, leaking, falling apart piece of junk cost us $5. Five. And it is the most important thing my sister and I have ever owned. I was 16 years old. My sister was 19. We had nowhere to go, almost nothing to our names, and somehow, we ended up on a riverboat. I'm not going to pretend this story is pretty. It wasn't, but it's mine, and I think you need to hear it. Let me back up. I don't talk about my childhood much, not because I'm ashamed. I've made peace with most of it, but because it's heavy, and I want to be careful with it. What I'll tell you is this. The house I grew up in was not a safe place, not emotionally, not always physically. My sister, she got out first. She turned 19 and she left, and I don't blame her, not even a little. But when she left, things got worse for me. And then one night, I was 16, I was told to leave. Not asked, told. I called my sister. She drove 2 hours to get me. I had a backpack, a sleeping bag, and about $40 between us. We sat in her car in a parking lot at 2 in the morning, and we didn't really say anything for a long time. And then she said, "Okay, what do we do?" That question, what do we do? That question ended up changing everything. We found the boat by accident, or maybe it found us, I don't know. We were driving along the river about a week after I got kicked out, just killing time, just trying to figure out what our next move was. And we saw this handwritten sign, "Boat for sale, $5. You haul it." My sister pulled over before I even finished reading the sign. The man who owned it was an older guy. He said his kids didn't want it, he didn't have the heart to trash it, and he just wanted it gone. $5, that was it. We looked at this boat. It was bad. I'm not romanticizing it. It was genuinely, structurally bad. There were sections where the wood had rotted through. It smelled like river mud and old motor oil. Half the cabin windows were cracked. The engine hadn't run in years, and my sister looked at me and said, "I think we should get it." I said, "Sis, we have $40. She said, "So we'll have 35. We paid the man. We borrowed a trailer from someone we barely knew. We hauled that boat to a marina that let us dock it cheaply, and I mean cheaply, because the guy felt sorry for us. And that became our home. I want to be honest about what this was actually like, because it wasn't like a movie, it wasn't cozy, it wasn't charming. Not at first. We were cold a lot. We slept in layers. We learned very quickly that when it rains on a boat that has cracks in it, it rains inside the boat too. We couldn't shower at the marina for the first few weeks. We took turns at a gym my sister somehow kept paying for with her part-time job. We ate a lot of canned soup. A lot of canned soup. But here's the thing. Here's the thing that I didn't expect. Every single night, we would sit on the deck of that terrible boat, and we would just talk. Like, really talk. In a way we had never been able to do when we were living in that house. We talked about what had happened to us. We talked about what we were afraid of. We talked about what we wanted our lives to look like someday. We cried. We laughed. We made plans that seemed completely insane. That boat gave us something we had never really had. Privacy. Safety. A place that was ours. Nobody could take it from us. Nobody could make us leave. It was rotting, and it leaked, and it smelled. And it was ours. And I think that's when I started to understand what home actually means. Home isn't the building. It's the feeling of being safe with the people you love. Over the next several months, we fixed it, slowly, piece by piece. We watched YouTube videos. We asked strangers at the marina. We made 100 mistakes. We learned from every single one. My sister resealed the hull. I sanded and repainted the cabin. We found replacement windows at a salvage yard. We got the engine running, which remains to this day one of the proudest moments of my life. People at the marina started talking to us. Older guys who'd lived on boats for years. They would wander over and watch us work, and then, casually, like it was nothing, they'd show us the right way to do something. That community. It was something I didn't know I needed. The boat started looking good. She started looking real. The day we took her out on the river for the first time under her own power, my sister and I just stood there at the bow and didn't say anything. We were both crying. We didn't even talk about it. We just knew. We had built something out of nothing. I'm going to tell you what that boat actually taught me. Because this isn't just a survival story. It changed how I think. It changed who I am. It taught me that you can start from almost nothing and still build something real. We started with $5 and 2 exhausted, scared kids. What we built, together, was more than just a livable boat. It was a life. It taught me that hard things bond people. My sister and I are closer than I can put into words. We went through something together that most people never will. And that forged something between us that I don't think anything can break. It taught me not to wait for the right conditions. The boat was never ready. There was always something broken, something leaking, something that needed fixing. We went out on it anyway. And I think that's the whole thing, actually. You go anyway. I was a kid who got told they weren't wanted. I was terrified. I didn't know how to do any of this. And I found out, slowly, painfully, beautifully, that I was more capable than I had ever been allowed to believe. I don't know who needs to hear this today. Maybe you're in something hard right now. Maybe you feel like you've been handed a rotting, leaking, $5 version of the life you wanted. I just want to tell you, patch the hull, sand it down, get it on the water. Not because everything will be perfect, it won't be. But because on the other side of doing that hard thing, there is something that belongs to you, something nobody can take. If this story meant something to you, please share it. These are the kinds of stories that need to find the people who need them. I'll see you in the next one.